All right, welcome back. We've got our second set of matches underway for you in the round of 32 for the Challenger League of the Ascended StarCraft League. We've got a nice little TV piece starting us off on Daybreak. And last time I introduced these players, I started off with a little Batman thing, and this time I'm going to mimic my caster friend here, and I'm going to do my best Irish attempt. And he's gonna absolutely hate me for it. But spawning in the bottom left corner of Daybreak, we've got the Red Terran representing Temporar Gaming, Boomerang. Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. I literally can't.
I quit StarCraft at this point.
Quit Star. Just leave. Oh my god, stop, please. Anyways.
I'm getting encouragement. Saber's encouraging me.
Saber's encouraging him, and I'm like, no, please. Wait.
Top right.
I prepare for this this intro, okay, right? And in the top right hand corner, we do have the Protoss player. He is in the purple color today, and I don't even know what he's doing. Like, can you just not? His name is
Shadver.
Shadver. I don't even know what is going on here, man. Like, what?
That was the worst introduction I've ever heard in my entire.
Get out of my life, though. What this on me? I know. I'm just looking over, and I'm just getting like, judged.
People may find this funny, but we literally have to live with people that actually talk like us.
I loved it. Okay, that was good. All right, let's talk about.
It wasn't Scottish. People do talk like that over here.
Oh my god, that was Northern Irish. That was the chav. That's what that was.
That was Northern Irish chav. Yes.
Okay. I'll remember that for the next time I'm watching your guys' equivalent of Irish Jersey Shore. All right, so. Oh, and the Twitch chat wants me to do the Irish Bang next, so I'm gonna do my best.
What? What's that?
Yeah, Irish Bang. So
Irish Bang. Okay, right there we go. Right.
All right, so we do have a Cyber Core before an expansion, so he's not going to be really super greedy. And of course, Terran player went gas into Reaper Scout. He's going to also send his SCV just to make sure all the pylons are in base and no funny businesses going around. And he took his 2 workers off, so he's only got 1 worker mining gas right now, and probably going to go ahead and look for that expansion rather quickly. And also going to eBay block Shadver. So if Shadver doesn't see this coming as he's chronoing boosting out Stalkers, they're going to go try and then get the snipe, but Stalkers obviously don't kill buildings as quickly as Zealots do, and he actually almost walked right past it, but now he sees it. He's going to be able to snipe the SCV.
He probably doesn't care about this very much. He's probably just going to get 2 of these Stalkers and just go straight for the base, especially since he knows that there's 125 minerals that the Terran's player should have, but he doesn't have it, so he's just going to go straight for this right now. Triple Stalker, yeah, that's pretty good, and I don't think there's going to be very much that actually Boomerang can do about it unless he gets a couple of units into this bunker.
Actually, the thing is the Reaper's in and he sees the gateways going down. So there are Stalkers that were move command and they missed the Reaper, and they're just going to go right across, and so it is going to be kind of a Reaper who's going to be out microing these probes versus a Stalker who's now just going to walk in and snipe SCVs for days, as that one building the command center on the low ground is not going to live for much longer, and neither is the one building the bunker. Is he going to get the finish? The second Stalker is going to come up, and it's actually going to be really close and 2 seconds away from finishing, but 2 Marines versus 2 Stalkers is not a very good idea.
Yeah, there's not going to be anything here to actually stop this. This is a really, really good build here from Shadver, but I really feel as if there's just a lot of holes in Boomerang's build that allowed this to happen. Oh, he does actually
manage to complete the bunker, and that was really big, and he's going to go ahead and bring his SCVs back into the main, and he's going to bring his Reaper back. But the Stalkers can just out-micro all day. If he loses that Stalker, that's going to be really big, and actually losing the Reaper is big, because that was going to give him...
he's going to lose it.
Yeah, so losing that one Stalker, I've actually seen this on ladder quite a bit, where Protest players are sending out the early Stalkers to deal with what are sort of the metagame of Terran right now is a lot of times to throw down a bit of early pressure with Marauders, or like there's some 1-1 builds that are really fashionable as the Terran player scans and sees everything. But there's some 1-1-1 pressure that you can do with Medivacs and Widow Mines, as we see. We are going to go into 3 racks, but I think the early Stalkers are a good idea because if you do happen to get lucky like he was able to and stop a CC from building as rapidly as it can, then it's going to be paying dividends later on, because as we know, StarCraft, all those things will culminate late game.
Mm-hmm. The Protoss is actually really, really far behind us. He actually committed so much, although it looks like he only lost 1 Stalker, but his whole build was like around that attack. and he only like what killed what if you look at the units lost. What's the units lost? I don't know how to get this up. Help, please help. Units lost. Where is it? There we go.
Well, okay, so Terran lost 7. So that's a Reaper, Marines, and I think he lost 1 or 2 SCVs. But like you were talking about, it wasn't incorporated into the build. As we see 3 Stalkers coming in to poke around, there's a bunker there. It's not a good idea, I don't think. 1 Mothership Core and 3 Stalkers are not going to be able to bust through this little wall off.
Ooh, he's playing really, really risky with this. He just wants to get something done, but of course with this bunker, and we've seen the reactor barracks, there's not going to be anything he did, but he could have done so much more with that initial pitch because it worked so well for them for what Boomerang was actually planning to do. But he did, a couple of missed micro issues, and he's getting a lot of these Marines, so it's just working really well for him.
Yeah, I think what Boomerang saw is he tried to snipe the Mothership Core, which obviously is huge. Not only is it 100 minerals in gas, but it's also going to be mining time because you're taking away that production, even with Corona Boost, away from producing probes, which is what you want to be doing at this point in the game. And the second bunker is going to go down. He does have a Marauder out in the field, so that's going to make holding this early pressure way easier. The proxy pylons that are going to be able to support, they're going to be seen and picked off, so we'll see how much that plays into it later on. But we do see a lot more gateways going down. Blink being researched for Shadver. Why not? He's got it pretty safe at home. He's in a pretty standard safe position. We do have 2 Marauders with Boomerang's army as he's moving out, so we'll see if he's going to be able to catch some of these. Did he research? He's researching Stim. He doesn't have concussive shells, early concussive shells. How much of a difference do you think that would play in an early engagement like this to pick off a couple of Stalkers?
Against normal Stalkers, it's really, really bad, but against Blink Stalkers, it doesn't make that much of a difference because even if the units that get attacked, even if they blink away, even if they get concussive shells on them, the blinking away is going to make it so they can't really do anything anyway. Oh wow!
We do have a PP coming down for Shadver. So just talking about where the game's at right now, as he had a little bit of a mouse issue that he's trying to fix. We do no Robo. Is going to try and go gateway heavy, so maybe taking a little page out of MC's book in that regard. But we have no Robo for Shadver, so he doesn't have any obs. I think in a way he's going to be dedicating a lot to this push with Blink Stalkers, and I'm not certain it's going to work out great for him because as you see Widowmine out in the field, Marauders worked into this bio ball, and as soon as he gets Medivacs out, I think he's going to be able to deal with this, and he doesn't have any detection right now.
Yeah, if he knows what he's doing, he should be just making only
would you see that slick? He's trying to,
yeah.
But he's trying to get to go off, and that was really slick. Yeah, he was able to actually get it to do that. But I mean, I think that takes a little bit of your mindset away because it's going to recharge, and you could be doing other things with that. I'm not going to go ahead and diss the decision. It was a pretty sick play, but.
Yeah, no, this is basically just a Blink Stalker all in here from Shadver. He's not going to be able to just make sure he can get something done, but he didn't actually get the SCVs over to the bunker, and they just get shot down.
He's going to lose his Mothership Core, and that's not a very good idea. As the Widowmine's actually going to be able to burrow, and it's down with its cooldown. So 1 bunker survives, didn't get the pull on the SCVs, and even though we have more resources and units lost for Terran players got a supply advantage, and it looks like Shadver's really going for this. Oh, the Widowmine's going to go off and get a really good detonation, takes away all those shields, and that's a huge deal. He's going to be able to snipe that SCV, but in my opinion, I think this Bioforce with the Medivac is going to be able to chew through these Stalkers with those Marauders.
Not if he goes way too far from the bunker.
He sold himself out a little bit, didn't he? He should have stayed with the high ground in the bunker. Now he's going to have to pull SCVs to repair. Now this is looking really good position for Shadver. He's actually making it work with the SCVs, or with the Stalkers rather, and you can control those Blink Stalkers for days, and he seems to be doing just that. More Widowmines on the field, and that's going to pay dividends, I think.
Just any sort of trading right now is working really, really well for Shadver because he's just going to keep reinforcing with so much. Oh,
the Widowmine hits, but actually I don't think they did enough because the Stalker's able to pick off the Medivac, and that healing power is going to be really crucial here. He's going to have to pull SCVs to repair the bunker, and things I don't think are going too well for the red Terran player.
Yeah, he should have made a lot of those mines earlier, seeing as it was going to be a Blink play, and he's not going to have that robotics facility to be able to get the Observer. Plus, mines to work really well against big clumps of Stalkers, but it was just a bit too little too late right now. As you can see, Shadver's just going to go into the middle line. It's not that much here to go stop him from doing anything.
I think Shadver's kind of realized that this push isn't going to win him the game, so he's gone ahead and added a robotics facility back home and taken the 2 gases at his natural, and he's going to actually take his Stalkers home at this point. But I think he was able to hold Terran a little bit, but that kind of went topsy-turvy. It could have gone either way for a little bit there, but now Medevac's coming back out onto the field. I think the Terran player with the supply advantage actually has a bit of an advantage versus this early build from Shadver.
Yeah, basically both players probably going to sit back and take third base. There's nothing really here that Shadver can do without any sort of tech, especially with the massive Widowmine count that's coming up now. And Shadver's not going to sit back and wait for... it should be taking up at least like Colossus or something, because there's nothing... Boomerang isn't going to be pushing it anytime soon. There's no reason for him to... because he's just going to get, picked apart by Blinkstalker before anything else happens. There's so much money here saved up for Shadver right now that he can't even use.
And we do have an observer on the field that he chrono boosted out to get that detection for those Widow Mines. So the Widow Mines obviously can't outdistance Stalkers. And he sends a Marine down and he sees the army. Boomerang's alarm bells should be going off in his head right now. Combat shields really close to finishing up. He's going to hope they finish up before this engagement happens. Those 25 extra hit points on each unit is going to be a big difference. Shadver just working on this debris right now. Not really focused on the army. He doesn't need to. He's got this massive group of Stalkers. The Widow Mines are going to need to do work because he doesn't have the Bioforce to support it, does he?
Yeah, all Shadver needs to do is blink into the main. Because
massive blink into the main. And a time warp right on the ramp. This is really bad, and the Marauders are move commanding because they're rallied to the other army. The Marauders, though, can take a lot of hits, and now they're going to start putting out that DPS as he pulls SCVs, snipes the Mothership core. This was an absolute failure from Shadver. Really aggressive blink, and it didn't turn out to work too well for him, did it?
Shadver just getting a bit too big for his boots there. He just needed to sit back with that robotics facility. There's no reason for Terran to put him out and move out, and there's nothing actually he could even be offensive on, except for if he went into all those mines, which he did. It was a bit of a bad blink as well, because he blinked a lot of his units into the main, but a lot of them also just went straight through those mines without even doing anything. He just got killed, cut the shit away. Now Boomerang has a really, really good chance to just strike before any sort of Colossus are coming out, although one Colossus is on the way.
Yeah, and I think those, without extended surveillance, there's so many Marauders in the field that he used to counter the Stalkers that the Colossus aren't going to be. They don't take down Marauders that easily.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the range, so you don't even need that many Marauders to take out a Colossus. And if you have, at least some decent idea of splitting and things like that, and decent unit control, like you can make, especially with Medevacs, you can make those plays last for days. I think Immortals might have been the right call here since he has such a high Marauder account, but he's just going to stick with the Colossus play, and we have a drop going in the main. It does cycle back because the Stalkers, the Blink Stalkers are there, and they're going to be able to shoo him away. But I think, the Protoss took a greedy third, and now he scans and he sees it. For Boomerang, I think he can push, because a lot of people think, he's going to have Colossus back home, but he's got enough Marauders to tank up enough damage.
He doesn't have... The biggest thing right now is the fact he doesn't have sentries. Even if he does have this Colossus, the Colossus has nothing protecting it. Like, there's not even charge slots or anything like that. Sentries are completely not here. It's because he spent so much of his resources in getting that, trying to get the attack done and make so many Stalkers.
This Bioforce is going to come in and it's going to target the Nexus. No, now he's going to transfer onto the army. Widowmine's coming down into the play, and he's going to back up and he's going to lose this Nexus, and that's huge.
Yeah, that's looking really, really bad for him right now. A double jump actually does come into the natural, and these Blink Stalkers are on patrol, but if he's not looking at it, this can do a lot of damage. Yeah,
there's the Blink Stalkers are there, but he's going to go ahead and teardrop these units out, and he's going to be able to clean up a ton of units in the main mineral line. This is really working well because he's going to bullet back his Colossus, and now he's going to go home. I'm taking a third. I've got a bunker up. I have time to work on my macro. I'm adding extra production back home because I can do things like that because I'm Terran. He's got mules. He's got everything looking in his favor. Let's check the upgrades. We do have 1-1 on the way to being finished. We already have +1 attacks for Terran, and nothing so far finished up. Really close to finishing up armor. Probably not the best one to have finishing up. Does he have a second forge? I don't see a second forge.
No, I don't think so. Remember, the one thing that could save Shadver right now is if, he takes a really good guess with his Colossus, and there's no Vikings out even for him, but I think he's just going to be able to steamroll this here, especially if he gets a flank off and kills Takes out one of those Colossus straight away.
Oh, he's gonna
might be
get
able
one of
to
them. He's gonna get might get both of them. He's gonna get both
Ooh.
Colossus right now. And
Wow.
that's almost game ending. I was gonna say that the only thing that Boomerang could lose to is if he tried to get cute with it and split up his army. But he's actually dropping Marauders in to target fire that Colossus at the top of the natural. That's and GG is called. Like I said, my opinion was in that matter since he had such an army. All right, welcome back. We're on Ohana for Game 2 of the Terran vs. Protoss series. Boomerang, our Terran player, took Game 1, and he's trying to make it a quick 2-0. He is spawning in the bottom right corner, representing Templar Gaming, the red Terran Boomerang. Oh, wait, I was supposed to do an Irish Bane. God, I'm...
No, anymore. No, you weren't. That's a mistake. And in the top left-hand corner, we do have the Protoss in the purple color, playing for Team All In, it seems. You know, not working out for him last game, but we're going to see if it works out for him this game. It is Shadver.
Yeah, it didn't work out for him last game, and I really relished that victory. As a little baby myself, I'm just a Diamond League Terran. No big deal, right? You live and you learn through this great game of StarCraft, and one of the ways you live and learn is by getting blink stalkered for a lot of times, and you know, it'll still happen to you at this point in time, and there, you know, in the end, we know Boomerang was able to hold it and win, but there was definitely some periods during that game where he probably had a doubt in the back of his head. He was definitely on the ropes, you know, getting caught out a little bit, maybe being a little too aggressive, trying to snipe a mothership core. And blink stalker all-ins can be scary, but he was able to hold it. And coming into the second game, I think that gives him a really good mental edge. But Shadver, as I say that, is trying to get that mental edge back, and he's put a probe down here. Do you see what I'm talking about?
It's gotta be a proxy oracle.
Yeah, he's doing some shenanigans.
It's gotta be a proxy oracle. Basically, there was two of these similars taken pretty early. Plus, also there's three of them now, even this early.
Oh, the Reaper's just gonna miss the scout too. Oh, he was looking. He used it to look for proxies. He's gonna go back and watch. Is he gonna see it? Oh, he's gonna see it. Oh, he sees it.
Wow!
This is huge.
He is gonna be so mad about this.
Huge. And the response is now a reactor that's just finishing up on the barracks. He's just gonna rally those Marines right down into the mineral line of his main rather. He is fine. This is about as bad as it can get if you're gonna try and proxy Oracle something.
Yep, so basically what this gives him now is so much more time before any other kind of tech comes out. You know, there's 150 gas that's been used for the Stargate. He's not have to worry about any sort of Colossus push anytime soon. He's got so much time to do whatever he wants, as long as he gets his missile turret up in his main and in the natural to make sure he doesn't take any damage on those, and he's in a great position.
See, and I like that he's getting the missile turret up and he's ready for this early stalker, which he knew was going to be coming because he's expected it from last game. But one thing that I don't necessarily, I understand the call. He's saying, I'm building a turret in my mineral line. That way I can focus on my main while I can just leave my natural to the turret. But one thing that I like doing as a Terran is using anything that I'm going to be, my minerals efficiently, right? We're talking about efficient resources. So your turret against Protoss, it's also an observer and it's, a detector, that sort of thing. Mm. So I like positioning him at the front, in case of DTs, once you've scouted it, this or that. But, he could have just made 6 Marines and said, okay, what's the response to an Oracle? Well, either I can plant a defensive wind of mine, or I can just have 6 Marines. You're not going to keep making Oracles in the late game. And I'm going to use Marines for the, better part of 3/4 of a game anyway.
Yeah, I like this idea from Shadver. He just knew that Oracle wasn't going to work, so he actually just making board race. He's just going to go for a massive push and probably Stalker, Zealot, and Void. And what's so saddening about this is that even though Boomerang did so well with that early push, he hasn't got the production to. I don't think he's got the production to hold us off. He's only got 1 barracks of double double Marines coming out, and he needs to make loads of winter mines from this factory to make it worth it, because I think the stack is going to come really quickly, and it'll be really, really hard to hold.
Here's the push. It's 2 Void Rays and 4 Stalkers versus a bunker full of Marines and 6 more at the base of the ramp. The Stalkers are going to pull back, and he's going to reinforce with 3 more Stalkers. The Mothership Core is going to be there. He does have that supply pylon there. He sees what's happening now. A Time Warp goes down.
Wow.
And it's going to be able to catch out a lot of these units. The bunker is going to need to hold, and he does pull SCVs. That's a really good decision. Is this going to be an infinite bunker? We have 1 Void Ray turning on that special beam laser, but he's going to be able to target the SCVs. Are these bunkers? Is it going to hold? It's so close, but in the end, I don't think it's going to. He's going to lose all the repairing units, and he's actually going to pull back. This is huge, and he loses the Void Ray as well.
Loses the Void Ray. If you look at the income tab right now, it's actually even, but he's going to be able to, go a second wave for this. He's going to be able to kill this bunker. It's going to force a lift off on this CC, and that's definitely not what he wants. Protoss should be able to take a comfortable natural straight away from this, but it's just that production. He's just playing this as if he would play like a TPT. He's just taking up really quickly without getting any Marine side. It's just nothing to hold this.
This is really unfortunate for Boomerang. He does have Widow Mines placed in defensive positions to maybe stop that Void Ray. He's going to need a really good hit. Oh, and it targets a Stalker instead. I would have rather seen that gone for a Void Ray. He loses the second Widow Mine, and this is looking really, really bad for the Red Terran player. That turret is going to be able to provide a little bit of sustenance for him, and he's having to pull SCVs.
Yeah.
Just not looking good. He does get the surround on a couple of those Stalkers, but
No,
at this
it's
point, you don't trade SCVs for Stalkers.
It was just all production. He just has like one bar to 2 Marines is not good enough for 9 minutes 30 in the game. There's just no way. He just needed to get so many more barracks up earlier in the game just to stop something from this happening. Because
Shadver with his all-ins, he's just doing it.
he's just doing it. Yeah, I mean, it's just as a clan tag shows. It's just he knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants to do, and he knows how to execute it.
Yeah.
But in that situation, it just all Boomerang needed to do was just get a couple more barracks, and he would have been fine.
Overgrowth, which is not a part of the Dream Pool, but it is in my opinion, rather popular map, and I enjoy this map a lot. I think it's favorable and pretty balanced towards all the races. And go ahead, we're going to start off with the introductions, spawning in the bottom left corner, representing Team All In, and really living up to that clan tag. It is your Purple Protoss, who is just coming off tying the series 1-1, Shadver.
And in the top right hand corner, we are seeing the Red Terran fighting for his life in this series. Just going to make sure he actually sees exactly what he's going to be up against and what kind of crazy build is going to be. It is Boomerang.
Representing Templar Gaming.
Representing Templar Gaming. Sorry.
No, that's TPLR. I don't. It's not a quick tell, to be perfectly fair. Tippler. Yep. Nothing too crazy right now. No probe going across map. And he is actually putting down his second pylon in base, so he doesn't have the super quick proxy pylon just yet. I was honestly expecting a proxy 2 gate. That's what I was expecting. But to be fair, Boomerang has been putting his first supply depot on the scouted ramp of his main, and so maybe Shadver took note of that. But I don't know why my caster sensors were tingling. I probably shouldn't listen to those. They generally don't pay off.
Yeah, so Boomerang does actually go in and see that Chronob is on this gateway. He should know that's a stalker. Like, he should know this, like almost a fact, but kind of not really. There's no reason to really Chronob a stalker out against a Terran. Really, like, what does it really give you? You should know this is going to be aggressive. Yes, sorry, I don't even know what I said. He should know that's a stalker, so you should know this kind of build is coming in. Same build he did in the first game, although it's going to be a bit different. You're actually getting a Nexus, and I really, really like this decision.
Yeah, what's that old saying? The cheesiest thing a cheesy player can do is to macro. Not to say that all-inning is necessarily cheesy or anything like that, but we definitely had some shenanigans going down with the proxy pylon last game and the stalker all-in, the blink stalker all-ins. And so he is seeing these stalkers making their way, and with the Reaper, he does have double Marine on the way, and that bunker's going to finish up just in time. So actually, this worked out just in favor of Boomerang. He's going to get those Marines in the bunker.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to stop this. He's not going to be able to help this CC from going up anymore because of that. The fact he only has 2 Marines, but he might actually lose that Stalker, which would be really, really big. 2 Marines do pop out, he just focus that down, and 1 does go down.
This is really bad because he might lose the second if he gets the Reaper back to support. Actually, no, there's another Stalker coming in. So the game was, like we were talking about, I think Boomerang knew to expect the Stalkers. Obviously, he saw them getting to shoot his early SCV, but I think he had an idea, so he was able to get his bunker up and his Marines in place really quickly. He's going to scout the Robo, which is really good as Warp Gate finishes up for our Protoss player. He sees the Robo, sees the probes making their way down to the natural. The Reaper paying for itself actually gets a probe kill, which you don't see that often. A very nice pickup. Pays for its life not only in the information that it sees, but the pickup of the probe. And as you were talking about, 3 racks is generally the safer thing to do, and that's exactly what he's done here.
I know I'm going to sound really contradictory, but I don't like going up to 3 racks whenever he's scouted the robotics facility. He knows that that's not going to be anything coming out of that anytime soon. He could have easily just got, a quicker factory and get the starports up, so he can start that medevac production, because he knows there's not going to be any sort of gateway push whenever he's done a robotics. That doesn't make any sense. So he's just going to sit back, get a lot of Marines out, and he could actually do a bit of damage with his Marines because he's not going to have that much stuff, especially if he's making this robotics bang right now. Go straight up for this Colossus.
So the key is he has a Stalker, Shadver does, on the Zelnaga Tower. He sees it coming. So he's got his Mothership Core positioned perfectly. He's not going to waste the Photon Overcharge. And so there's no medevacs here to lift into the naturals. So unless Boomerang wants to sacrifice these Marines and Marauder for a lot of probes, he's going to have to get rather lucky for it. The Photon Overcharge should see through. Depending on the decision that Boomerang makes as this army comes in, let's see how much damage it gets done. He's going to get 1 probe. No Photon Overcharge just yet. He's actually losing more probes than Photon Overcharge still now just to activate it. But he was actually able to kill 3 or 4 probes there, and managed to get out and really paid for itself. That was a really good push. Any little bit helps.
Yeah, I personally don't really like it, seeing as the fact that Shadver did actually get 2 gateways that did finish just before the attack came. He could have easily just made like 2 zealots and not lost any probes, but it's just a bit of a mistake there. But 1 Colossus is going to come out, and hopefully he gets it out for this push that is coming out from Boomerang. Otherwise, it's going to take a lot of damage.
One thing is Shadver's got the vision on lock. He's got the Zelnaga Tower. The observer's coming out. He's gonna prop up and see this. The thing I do like about that earlier push is it did waste a Photon Overcharge. 100 energy. It is making himself wait. The Mothership Core is getting that energy back, and we'll have one shortly. But one thing that I think a lot of Terrans don't do enough is actually bait Photon Overcharges, and you can really abuse what is essentially the mechanic that is going to guarantee a Protoss the ability to survive a push like this as he comes in with stem, really powerful, really big group of units as he's targeting down probes. The right thing to do, really getting into that production line. He's going to get the Mothership Core. That's really big.
Oh, the Colossus is going to go down
barely. He needs to target the Mothership Core as well. Target the no Photon Overcharge. This is game ending in my opinion. He took out all the mining probes, took out the Colossus. This is a really big, good, great position for the Terran player. Back home, he's just building up. He's going to get Viking production and medevacs on the way. He's all the way up to 5 racks as he's getting his upgrades, and this is a really good position for Terran.
Yeah, I just feel like all he really needs to do is just to make sure the Colossus don't do too much. If he just made, like, say, a couple of Vikings instead of prioritizing medevacs, he would just be perfectly fine. A boost is just forced out here from Shadver. He knows there's nothing really left for him to do. He's going to see if he can do anything, but of course, Boomerang has got a lot of units in a bunker, plus his Marauder sitting here, plus Stim, and I just don't think it's going to be anything to do. And
he's pulled some SCVs to repair. He's in a really good position. He can kite those Zealots. Doesn't even need to because he's got Stim and he's got a lot of meat there. Boomerang is going to, Shadver cancels the pylon. Really tough position. Do you go back and start chronoing probes? I think Shadver's kind of at a loss as he's got a little bit of chrono boost saved up on these nexus that he could be using. One Colossus at home, and he's going to be chronoing actually out another Colossus. To be fair, if you're going to get back into the game, one thing you do is you make sure that you're not going to get killed. He's got an observer at the natural, and he's putting out those heavy units that might give him a leg up, putting out the Colossus.
Yep. The best thing for the Protoss to do, although he is very, very far behind in this situation, the best thing for the Protoss to do would just be sit back and just increasing your Colossus count, plus getting it about a couple of centuries. You're not going to be prioritizing, getting Stalkers or anything, because you're going to want to keep making probes because you need to rebreak your probes, and you're gonna have that bit of extra gas to be able to get a lot of more sentries. And then whenever a push comes out, like with this, that don't have Vikings, he's actually could have saved himself a lot of damage.
Yeah, but there's 10 Marauders in here, and those Marauders are gonna at least if they don't kill the Colossi outright, they're gonna be able to scare them off, and the Colossus is probably not gonna be able to stay in the fight for a very long time. As we do see the scan go down, he's gonna boost into the main. And he's going to leave his other force back. I bet you he's going to go attack at the natural while he does this, but he's going to pull his medevacs out as he sees 2 Colossi there ready to intercept.
Yeah. Shadver does have vision of this with the observer over at this key location, so he does see that there is one medevac just sitting there, but I don't think he sees... You might have seen what the other units are going over, say towards his third. He hasn't taken a third yet, which is, I think, is okay, because obviously he wouldn't be able to defend it. He needs this kind of natural choke, plus the photon overcharge to defend anything. He's building a couple of sentries, which is a good decision, to, try and get that win by cost efficiency. But these 2 medevacs are going to go in. I'm going to see how much damage these two do.
Almost game-ending damage. This is really heartbreaking
Yeah.
for Protoss. You don't really have much left in the gas tank in terms of motivation at this point because you've just tried to get yourself back in track, and he's going to snipe the robotics base, so no more Colossus production until he gets back up. Was able to get a lot of probes, rather. And we were talking about it in the first game when Shadver was behind. He said, I've got to make a play, and the play was, I've gone and taken a third. This game, he actually had the potential to take a third. He definitely had the minerals, and he didn't, and he focused on his units this time. Look at how long it takes Colossi, 2 Colossi to kill 1 Marauder with the medevac support.
Yeah.
But like I said, he was the play that he made this time was he was going to try and get his units up. Boomerang just making all the right drops at the right time, and I don't see how Shadver comes out of this.
No, especially with the Viking count increasing. He's already got 4 Vikings out, 2 of them coming up. I like the fact that he, didn't prioritize those medevacs. Oh, he actually gets 2 for free. Wow,
this is a really bad engagement, though. There's nothing. This is not going to go well for
decent force fields, but not the greatest. He doesn't have enough sentries to be able to do anything with it, and all of the units do go down. It's probably going to be the light side for Shadver right now.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't make Immortals. It seemed like such the natural counter to the heavy Marauder count that Boomerang went, and Boomerang